Okay, so welcome back to the Northern Nerd Network. My name is Dan Schessel, and on today's edition of the Nerdcast, we have none other than Chelsea Thompson. Chelsea, say hello.
Hi, guys.
And sitting right beside me, we have none other than Jay. I know, right beside
right
me.
here.
Right here.
Right
I know, it's so exciting.
I know. So we have Jay Bardyla
with our guest.
Yes, from Happy Harbor Comics, live from Happy Harbor Comics.
Live from Happy Harbor. Hence the comical book.
With Jay! Yay!
Crazy Jay's Comic Book Emporium.
Come on. I can't come right now.
No, I can't come down right now. We're closed.
Don't come on down now, but come on down later.
But if you're listening to this in a podcast, maybe it might be open at this moment.
There you go.
You never know. All right, so
That's the worst start ever for
this is actually our best.
It's good to know where the bar is.
There we go. So on today's show, we're going to be talking a little bit about Free Comic Book Day a little bit later on. But we like to always, talk to everybody and ask them how their week was. So, Jay, because you're our guest, how was your week?
It was very full. It was very busy. The whole month of April has been crazy busy. We actually only had, we run events from Wednesday to Sundays.
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesdays are our days off. But for the entire month of April, we only had one day in the entire month between that Wednesday and Sunday where we didn't have an event.
Oh, wow.
The whole month. So it was pretty crazy busy. And of course, all the Free Comic Book Day stuff has been showing up, and we have to kind of deal with all of that. And we're trying to get the place ready and promoting. But, we had book signings, and we had game nights, and we had some fundraisers. And it was just a jam-packed month all leading up to, Free Comic Book Day. So it's been my week, I assumed, happened. And I also assumed that I was a part of it. And I assume that in some point in time, I will eventually get to sleep. And that will be kind of nice. Not for long, because if I sleep for too long, then...
You can sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, well, that'll come pretty fast if I keep going the way things are going right now. So it's apparently moderation is the key. So one day I will discover what that is. Oh, but I actually did have something super cool.
Sure.
Saturday night, Workshop West, actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Workshop West hosted a series of plays that they had commissioned writers from Edmonton to produce. Just short little plays, and they had these 8 writers go out into the community, and they said, pick something within Edmonton that you feel is an important community building aspect of the city. And one of the writers, Minister Faust, who's a very accomplished writer and a politician, teacher, and everything else, he actually chose Happy Harbor.
Oh, nice.
So for several months, he kind of hung out, observed, took part in events and all this stuff, and then created this little 10 to 12-minute play, which was performed with the other 7 plays. And on Saturday night, I went to go watch all 8 plays, which were fantastic. It was so cool. But for Happy Harbor, it was a pretty huge honor to have somebody of esteem out in the community come and say, this store is important, and produce a play about it. And we were up there with the people who produced plays about City Hall, a halfway house for people transitioning out of the criminal system and into the public system. Somebody who rode the public transit for months and created and captured plays. So all these kind of institutions within a society that actually help societies function, and then Happy Harbor, which kind of, it was weird, but it was hugely flattering, and it was super, super cool, and we're very grateful that that it was done and performed, and lots of people.
I don't know. I think the sense of community that exists in and around Happy Harbor makes it not out of place in that list of important parts of Edmonton at all.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and that is something we do shoot for. It just, when you kind of look down the list of everyone that was profiled, it's like City Hall, public transit system, transition houses, a morgue, which was pretty cool, and then comic book store, right? And it just kind of it seems out of place in the list, but we do make a point of trying to be something that should be on that list. Yeah. And I think that kind of recognition, certainly helps validate all of our efforts.
Well, and I mean, even for us, we've been here how many times like talking with you about something that you've been doing in the community, right? So, I mean, over the years, we've seen what this means to a lot of people, right?
It does.
So, I mean,
and it is a big thing for a lot of people. It is important. It's an important place to gather. It's something causes to support. Creation, motivation, inspiration are huge parts as well. So I guess we're on the right path then.
That's awesome. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. So Chelsea, how was your week?
My week was great.
That's so good. Good to hear.
Sorry.
I know you got to miss our Star Wars RPG night.
I know. I was
super
so
sad.
bummed about that. But no, literally just as you were asking me that question, my phone started to ring and I realized I didn't have it on silent. So I was trying to like stop it before the ringer took over. Yeah. So probably the downer of my week was that I missed Star Wars RPG because my computer updated and did something to the driver for my camera and audio. And so I would click into the Google Hangout link, but my camera and audio wouldn't register. So it was like nobody else was there. And it took me like forever to figure out what was wrong with it. And finally I got it sorted out so that I could join you here this evening. But that was kind of like the bummer of my week. I had to miss out on our RPG night. Apparently it was quite the adventure. A character that we have thought was dead twice apparently rose from the grave, reincarnated as a half cyborg version of himself. I missed out on that goodness.
Yeah, and Marcus at the moment, he's one of our fellow members of our RPG group. He's going, sure, Chelsea, your camera works now, and he's in our chat room. So if you are watching this video, you guys can chat with us. You guys can leave us comments.
Yeah,
And,
man, Marcus, I read your postscript addendum about the death of said reincarnated cyborg character. Man, that's some powerful stuff. Dan, you should ask him for a game description.
For writing, yeah.
Yeah.
Got some good. He's done some pretty good writing for his group. Anyways, what else did you do?
What else did I get to do? Well, we talked about the bummer of my week. Now some of the good stuff. I actually, Friday and today, I got to go to a couple different workshops for work. Today was a Pro D day. So Friday I went to one workshop just to go because it was a really cool workshop about inclusionary learning. I work in a school in capacity working with kids who may need extra support in the classroom. And so that workshop on Friday was all about including kids, all styles of learners, all types of learners, kids who may need any sort of variation of support, how to meaningfully include them in not only the classroom community.
And I think we lost Chelsea. So I will continue on with my week, which was.
How was your week, Dan?
Oh, thank you, Jay, for asking.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
It was pretty good. I didn't really do a whole lot. I had to work on Friday and Saturday, so I didn't get as much chance as I wanted to. I could see Chelsea's.
She's fighting.
She's fighting. She's trying to get in.
Fighting. She's champ. Just get in there, Chelsea.
I'm back.
Punch that webcam right in the mush.
But I did manage to I did get to play. I got to play in the RPG because I am the GM, and it wouldn't work if I didn't show up.
Absolutely.
So
kind of important.
It would be
You're a little important there, Dan.
So what happened is we got to play. There was a story and things happened and.
As is often the case in RPGs.
I know.
Yes, it's.
Did they throw any more people down an elevator shaft without even so much as a by your leave?
No, not this time. This time the guy who everyone thought was supposed to be dead came back to haunt them once again. This time they've kept the body to make sure.
It's a little morbid, dude.
It is.
Do they have it in the crew?
Every time they leave him to like die, he like comes back, right? So they
just drag around a carcass, waiting for it to come back to life.
Yeah,
that sounds like role playing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens, right?
Yep.
So, anyways, he came back on a ship and totally like just blew everything up, and they had to like actually jump onto the ship itself to like get in it and then like fight him inside the ship. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, they had some fun. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like other than that, I didn't get a whole lot of chance to get out and do a whole lot. So I had some more video work I had to do yesterday. And that was about it. Yeah. So anyways, Chelsea, before you were completely cut off there, what were you saying about?
Before I froze. Oh, yeah. Just the workshops I was going to. It's my like super nerdy academic brain gets really excited about all this stuff because it's all policy kind of stuff. So the workshop on Friday was all about inclusionary education, and then the workshop today, BC is rolling out a brand new curriculum that's all about inquiry-based learning. So how to build the curriculum about.
Yep.
No.
Awesome. All right, so Chelsea is having issues tonight. Anyways, let's just get into our news items. Hopefully Chelsea's still with us somewhat. What do we have for our news items?
So the first news item we have tonight is really cool. Super smart, awesome people being super smart and awesome. There is a PhD student from the University of Colorado Boulder studying aerospace engineering and robotics, who has invented robots that will grow fresh food in space. Particularly, she's designed these robots to grow fresh food with the prospect of a human colony on Mars, being able to scale them up to sustain a like full-size colony of human life on Mars, which is amazing. So it's a hydroponic system, but what's particularly interesting about her design, she's actually going back now. Her robot is called Spot. And she's going back now looking to raise funds to, I think, make Spot 3, which is the third version. And then she's trying to make it even more light and more compact. So that's pretty cool. But her design and the outcome is so cool that MIT awarded her a like $15,000 award for food engineering stuff. It's pretty cool.
I don't know. I have my suspicions about this news article. Right off the bat, her name's what? Heather Hava. So that's totally like a made-up Marvel Comics name there, right?
The double H.
The alliteration there. That never happens. And secondly, she's coming from Colorado. When was the last time anyone smart developed anything out of the state of Colorado?
This is true.
Right? So I don't know. I'm calling shenanigans on this article. I don't know if it's legit. It didn't come from the Hetherington Post. I don't know if I can buy it. Or no, the Beaverton. The Beaverton is our new source for news.
The Beaverton. The Onion is always another good standby for news.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's pretty cool, though. I think, if that's all legit and actually works out. I mean, how do you even?
Well, it's just another way for the robots to like take over the world. At the end of the day, they can make their own food.
But they don't. The robots. They don't need food. Why does this robot?
They just
no. They don't need to feed. If the robots take over, they don't need food because they don't need to eat, and they don't need us. So, and if they did need food, they could just eat us because there's so many of us. I'm sure we would probably last them for quite a while.
I don't know. I'm still hoping that we would be their pets.
She's holding a strawberry. Why does a robot need a strawberry? I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense at all. Again, I'm calling shenanigans on the article.
The fun thing is, and what potentially makes it sustainable for colonies, is that it's a hydroponic system, so you don't need any dirt. And the water in the system can all be recycled.
Does this mean the potheads are going to be all super
Yeah.
excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Hydroponics. Everyone's like, dude, dope in space. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it does say herbs right there.
Yes, lots of herbs.
So what else do we have there, Chelsea?
Well, from one cool invention to another cool invention, being able to live sustainably on Mars or live sustainably in the middle of the ocean. So a company called Jet Capsule that currently makes like super futuristic looking jet boats is in the process of making, I'm not sure if they've made prototypes or if they're making prototypes of floating modular pod homes that are completely sustainable. So they have the capacity to have solar panels on their deck and or wind turbines on their deck. Part of the living quarters floats above the surface of the water, which is your kitchen and living room, and then part of the living quarters floats below water, which is your bedroom and your bathroom. And the deck also has the potential to have the capacity to have a garden so you can grow your own food. And there's a solar-powered motor that's connected to the bottom of this pod that I believe lets you travel at 4 miles an hour. 4 miles an hour. So if you stay along coastlines, you can kind of leisurely travel the entire ocean in your little self-contained bubble house.
Until a tsunami came along.
I think that's part of the design. That sort of it basically looks like a classic 1950s UFO, a little bubble in the middle with a big ring around it. And I think part of that design is the ring is supposed to help stabilize it through waves. So it will go up and down with the waves regardless of how big they get. And the idea being that the size and the motor is that it's something that you would probably keep closer to the coastlines where you're less likely to encounter big.
Yeah, because 4 miles an hour is pretty slow.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere really.
Don't people walk faster than that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was
I
like
think you walk around 6,
5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not actually going to go anywhere. I mean, if you got a really good tide, you may not be going very fast at all.
I think just the natural currents will drift you just
faster. But yeah, I mean, they look cool. I think you need all three to like actually live, if I'm not mistaken. But
well, it said one pod was like 322 square feet.
Yeah.
The idea being that it's slightly bigger than like your average like camper or motorhome that exists.
Yeah.
And no, they suggest one per like person or couple. And the like suggested retail price if they're able to go into production is they're looking at costing them at about $200,000, which is currently cheaper than an average houseboat costs presently.
Houseboats are ridiculous how much they are.
So if you want to retire and float the ocean in style in your own sustainable little pod.
That's a thing, I guess. You could do that. Although with all the
I don't know, people retire and like buy motorhomes and drive all over the place. I suppose this would be like an adventure like that on a slightly larger scale. You know, you could go down one coast and across the Panama Canal and up another, and
yeah. I'm looking at the picture. There's a guy on a bike.
Yeah, riding around the ring.
He's riding around the ring.
I like the little dog. The guy's got a dog. Dog's just like just throw it in the water and just let him dump out there. Don't be pooping. You got like a little strip of grass. You don't need him pooping right outside the door.
He's gonna be right out there on that little piece of grass. But no, I can just see one good wave and that bike going overboard.
Gets a little misty. The track split. You're just sliding right off into the ocean.
Yeah, that's a good way to lose your bike. It's like I'm not going to get it.
That's not.
That's gone.
I think if we're severely overpopulated, I think this is a good option. Or
there's more space on the water, right? So I guess that
or 70% water.
Yeah.
So
I mean it would come in handy if we're overpopulated, but if this is not, it doesn't look like it's enough to like sustain you.
People live in less because when you look at a lot of those like little like pocket homes and the little mini homes that people have built, I mean they're smaller than that because they start at around 100 square feet, and this thing's 322. So, I mean, you're getting a bit more room, and it comes with a shower and
a glass room.
Supposedly a toilet that's just going to go right into the ocean, unfiltered and unfriendly to everything below it. Yeah, sure.
It's all good.
It's all good.
He was going to end up there anyways. Just a little quicker, that's all.
Yeah. Speeding up the process.
Yes. So we go from one futuristic thing to something that's more current. And that would be
everybody's favorite video games. A new announcement out of Sony regarding sort of what's been referred to as PlayStation 4.5 up until now. But just recently it's been confirmed that within Sony, this new version or updates for the PlayStation 4 is being referred to as Neo. And so a lot of the upgrades look like they're going to be to the actual hardware to improve the like viewing and graphics and things like that of the game. The games that you can play on them. So I'm going to let Dan talk about this a little bit because I would say he's probably the biggest gamer of us in the bunch. What are your thoughts on this, sir?
Well, here's like a lot of people. So there's two like sort of camps at this moment where people are really pissed off that they've bought this PlayStation 4 and now they're making a brand new one essentially with more power in it. Right?
That's every piece of technology that comes on the market. It's not a new thing. I don't know why.
This is nothing new. However, it's not really a console thing, right?
Right.
Like, usually when you buy a console, it's the specs.
It's good for 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, it pretty much stays the same. But with the way technology is moving, you can't stay at that one piece of technology. You got.
And upgrades are happening exponentially faster and faster.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, right now,
so what was a 5 to 7 year gap becomes a 3 to 5 year gap, becomes a 1 to 3 year gap, becomes whatever.
Yeah. So what they're doing with the Neo is they're trying to get it so that they can do 4K for the 4K TVs that are coming out, right? Yeah. Sony has a lot of money put into 4K, like in their TV departments and all that other stuff. So they're going to want to sell some TVs. This is a good way to do it. They also have their new headset. Like they got the PlayStation VR that's coming out. That needs a whole bunch of extra power. The PlayStation 4 is not going to cut it. They have to actually have another box on there to like make that work. So
is this actually saying that if you have a PS4, like you'd have to go to the PS4.5 kind of deal, or can it be like integrated? Can you do like an add-on and just kind of jack it up?
All the games that you have that are they're still going to work on your PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
They're not going to change it, right? So they're just going to look a little bit better on the Neo. That's
the one thing that I appreciate, and that all of the sort of news that's coming out of Sony is sounding like in terms of the software, in terms of the games themselves, they're working really, really hard to try and alienate as few people as possible by like really making this split of like regular PS4 and PS4 Neo. So I believe they said as of October. So like it's happened already in sort of anticipation of the new upgrades to the new system. Any games that have come out are compatible to play on both. And the idea being that if you have the upgraded hardware, the graphics will just be that much better and the game will look better and respond faster and blah-bitty-blah, all the things that happen when you have more power in the hardware, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they're not going to change it so that you're going to get a different kind of mode or something like that on the Neo. You're going to get the exact same thing.
Yeah, there's
on
aside
PlayStation
from
4.
like better graphics and that kind of stuff, it's not like tiers of a membership. It's not like if you're Neo, you get to unlock special stuff or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's purely the graphics, performance, and stuff like that.
So I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like it should be fine. There's going to be people that are going to be mad because they just bought a PlayStation 4 and they're like, I spent all this money on the PlayStation.
Nerd rage.
Yeah.
It never goes away.
It's always the way it is, no matter what it is. See, and here we see
I love it.
the PC master race aren't feeling the PlayStation users' pain. We have a question. I have to run, but question for Jay for later. Oh, we'll get to that later. All right. So,
question. Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we have for our news items for this week. Now
it's on to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Why is there somebody else coming on?
Special snazzy
Is
guest.
that what's happening?
Yes.
Yeah, bring on the real guest, somebody who's articulate and entertaining and has something worthwhile to say.
Well, that's you for tonight.
Okay. Sorry to let you down, folks. Trying my best.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Free Comic Book Day that's coming up.
Yep. Sure.
There's also, Calgary Expo that's happening.
Yes, that's a thing.
There's all sorts
show.
of. I know it's just a
Little
tiny
thing.
little thing that's it's fine. We can skip over that. Really.
The post you just posted on our Facebook page, Dan, with all of the upcoming events in the next 2 weeks that are packed into the next 2 weeks. It's a bit bananas how much stuff that there is coming up to do.
Well, I mean, yeah, we got May 4th coming up, which is
Whatever.
I know, but
we're hosting a super cool book signing on that day, though, because we actually have two local Edmonton artists, Carl Charles, who's actually gained quite a bit of notoriety, but his very good buddy, Dave, and I'm going to botch your last name, Dave. I'm sorry, because I can't remember it that well. Croteau, possibly. It's French, so I'm just going to say no matter what I say, it doesn't really matter because it's French. But anyway, it is Kyle has been working with Dave. This is Dave's debut as a professional comic colorist in a story appearing in Heavy Metal magazine. And this issue of Heavy Metal magazine is the first issue that's being overseen with their new editor-in-chief, Grant Morrison.
Oh, really?
So Dave gets to break into comics through Heavy Metal under Grant Morrison, thanks to his good buddy Kyle. And so we're having a book signing here a week Wednesday, May 4th. So May 4th will actually be a good day to celebrate instead of the usual, I'm a stormtrooper, whatever, So we have people actually have a purpose now to be out on May 4th. So we're really looking forward to that.
Tell us how you really feel about May the 4th. Tell us how you really feel.
I was polite. I didn't family friendly. Good. Yeah, but no, we're super excited for that. We're super excited for Dave. We're always, it's fantastic whenever locals.
And Grant Morrison.
I know awesome. It's very cool. I don't think I remember asking guys, I'm like, oh, so did you have to talk? And it's no, Grant's the editor-in-chief of the magazine. It's they made their story, but at the same time, you actually get to say that you've got that tie, your connection, and especially for Dave for his debut in the comics, that's a nice little thing. It's the first comics work I ever did. I did under Grant Morrison. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. We're very happy and very excited for both of them. It's just pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so.
We lost another viewer with that. I'm sorry. If that was Dave that was watching it and tuned out because I botched his last name, really sorry, Dave. I did not mean to. I had no prep time. I wasn't prepped.
we didn't tell him you were going to tell him we were going to do that.
I didn't know. Okay, sorry. You're about to ask about something more relevant.
Yeah, Free Comic Book Day. That's the title of the episode anyway, so we might as well get that one done and over with. What is Free Comic Book Day? Why are we talking about that?
Well, Free Comic Book Day is in its 15th year. International Day celebrating comics. Pretty straight up and simple. So retailers from around the world can opt in to this program where they get to purchase specially made books for the day and then give them away for free. That is it at its core, right? So from that point on, it's whatever the retailer wants to do to make that celebration as great as it can be. That's up to each individual retailer. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So Happy Harbor gives away a few comics. We do a little thing. We have some stuff.
There's usually something going on.
There's usually something going on. Yeah, we try to. Do we want to get into the whole thing?
Yeah, might as well.
Get it just right into it. Well, we've developed it as much as we can over the years, and to try to really make it a celebration. It's just a lot of fun just to bring a bunch of people together and give them the opportunity to just go like comics, whether you're somebody who's been out of comics for a while and is getting back in, if there is somebody who's just looking for something new, something to pass down or get somebody else interested. You want to get your kids, your grandkids interested in it. Maybe you read and your significant other doesn't, and you're kind of looking to get them hooked a little bit. It's like, here, you get some free samples kind of deal. So that is the opportunity for the consumer to come in. When you come to Happy Harbor, though, we kind of try to step it up a little bit. So we do have a store-wide sale. If you're going to have all these people come down, give them opportunity for a little bit more stuff. We'll be giving away a little bit more than 10,000 books this year. We see approximately about 2,000 people each year for the last few years for the day. So it's a bit of a work on our part to kind of coordinate everything. We get a lot of great volunteers who step up and help us out. So we do the free comics. We have face painters. We have a store-wide sale. We do about at least usually a dozen raffles. And I guess, this could be the place where we announce our grand prize raffle, because this year we're actually going to have quite a few raffles, various prizes. Our grand prize this year will be a $500 gift certificate to Happy Harbor. So that's what you can win. Wow. Even just for swinging by the shop and grabbing some free comics, and on your way out the door, you fill out a little ballot and you get a $500 shopping spree, which I don't think is too shabby. I think it's okay.
I think there's enough stuff in here.
There's a few things to choose from. I think you're okay.
Yeah.
We are adding, one of there's a couple of things that we try to do. It's our biggest charity drive for the Edmonton Food Bank every year.
Yep.
So we have a minimum of 8 volunteers who sit, and with a donation to the Edmonton Food Bank, whether it's cash or food amounts, you can get a custom sketch from any one of those 8 artists. And we have the artists up on our website now. We're going to be adding links to their website, so you can kind of, even in advance, you can take a look at the different styles, and then you can come and just give a donation and just go, hey, ask them to draw your favorite character for you, and then you will get a one-of-a-kind piece of art to help kind of remember the day. Who's
the artist this year?
We've got a lot of first-timers for Free Comic Book Day. So we've got Vanessa Beckman, we've got Perry Parker, who was our previous artist in residence, and we have our current artist in residence as well, Andrew Lung. Tracy Rizzer will be here. Serena Tang, she's going to be joining us for the first time. Pierre has a French last name too, so I'm not even going to try. And because he's also ex-military, and he will just kick my butt if I butcher his name. So I will not.
And he's a very nice guy, though.
He's a super nice guy.
Really nice.
Pierre is fantastic. And I know I'm missing Kelly Tyndall will be joining us. He'll be making an appearance for the day. Kelly's super great guy. He's a fantastic guy. Tells great stories, draws wonderful art. He's got a Patreon site that he does and puts his stuff out. He's published some books. He does a webcomic series. Great. We have an artist goes by the name of Lola, who will be joining us. So these 8.5, because Kelly's kind of only in for part of the day, but these 8 people and Kelly will be joining us. You bring down a donation to the food bank, you get a custom piece of art. We do have kind of guidelines on our website about like how much you would donate to determine how big or how small, and color in black and white, just so that everything is kind of really justified for the time and effort that everyone's putting into it. Last year, I think we raised, around $2,500 and about 230 kilograms worth of food.
Wow.
Or food, and it's not just food, because the food bank also looks for like hygienic products, and other things as well. We actually donate. Sorry?
Toothbrush. Deodorant.
Yeah.
The key word came through there for the nerds, and that was deodorant.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. So that is kind of one of our biggest things, but we're actually going to have 2 other fundraising avenues this year to help other organizations. So we do the food bank. Last year we brought in. I really should have pulled up our website so I would have all this stuff handy. But there's a Star Wars cosplay group called. Can we pull up my website?
Yep.
All right, we'll do that really quick because again, I know I'm going to say the names of the stuff in the wrong order. Yeah, that'll do. And scroll down a little bit, and there we go. There's the guys there. So the Saber Guild Echo Base Temple fan group. Mm-hmm. I always put the Echo Base first, and I know that's not right. So, but they actually they'll be in full costume with some awesome Star Wars cosplay, and they actually will be taking donations for the Ronald McDonald House, which is a charity they support and do a lot of work with. Last year, they had a fantastic response to the people seeing, like, come and get your photos taken with them, do a little lightsaber duel, whatever, and then just donate, what you feel cool with. Give a few bucks, and they give 100% of that money over to the Ronald McDonald House. It is supported by the Ronald McDonald House, which is super awesome. And then our third avenue for doing a little bit of extra fundraising this year is going to come through the debut. We're going to actually physically bring it out and put it on display for the first time ever, the world's largest comic book.
Oh, yeah.
Which last December we had the honor of producing at the Royal Alberta Museum. And that was super good. So by the time Free Comic Day rolls around, we will have the world's largest comic book on display on a custom-made stand that the caretakers and the handyman at the Royal Alberta Museum are building for us as we speak.
Oh, nice.
They're building us a custom table. Yeah, they're super. They've been so good. The Royal Alberta Museum was so good. So we'll have the book on display, but then we'll actually have copies, reproduction copies that people can buy. Yeah. And the sale of every book, there'll actually be 3 different sizes of books that you can buy, and portions of the sale of each book will continue to go back to the Edmonton Public Schools Foundation, which is an organization that helps make sure that there is full day kindergarten in every school in Edmonton, which there currently is not. Mm-hmm. And that's really, really sad and very, very frustrating. And that's why Happy Harper has been supporting this organization for coming up on 5 years now. So when we made the comic book itself, we raised nearly $3,000, and now through the sale of the reproductions of the books, we're going to continue to hopefully raise more money and continue to raise more money as time goes by. So there are 3 fundraising things: it's Food Bank, Edmonton Public Schools Foundation, and the Ronald McDonald House through the Saber Guild folks.
Yeah, and the Saber Guild, we know them fairly well.
Yeah. Good group of guys.
They're awesome.
And gals,
yeah.
I guess. I use guys generically.
Yeah. Yes, they're fantastic. They're a lot of fun, and they got some really amazing costume pieces.
Oh, they do.
Right? Like they go full out, and they look amazing. So,
and thanks to everyone who came out last year and supported them, because last year they got tired.
Yeah,
they were tired at the end of the day. They didn't realize, they're like, yeah, Jay says 2,000 people are going to come through, whatever. And then all of a sudden 2,000 people came through, and they were busy all day. And at the end of the day, they're like, we're tired. And I'm like, good. That means it worked. So we'll keep it up. So for those of you who were there last year, thank you. For those of you who will be coming out this year, bring, some small bills, some change and stuff like that, and buy a book, get some art done, take some photos, some Star Wars people. Kids, do some face painting, get some free comic books, do a little bit of shopping, store-wide sale. It'll be fantastic. And then the prizes and the raffles. And there will be all sorts of people in costume as well. So we have a lot of cosplayers who kind of step out and come out for fun, just keep everyone excited and having a good time.
I know my kid always comes out, and he
does,
and he always dresses up every year. So
he does, and sometimes he grabs the mic away from his dad and does the interviewing for him.
Yeah, he was a great host last year. We were out.
I cannot compare to Nehemiah and when he does interviews. He comes out with us when we do the Edmonton Expo, and I gotta let him just do the whole.
Kid's got so much energy; it's pretty awesome.
He's amazing.
He asks the best questions.
So yes, Robin, you hear that? There is face painting. Okay, so yeah, so that's a lot of stuff, but it just doesn't end right there, does it?
No, it doesn't.
There's more.
There is more. There is more. Well, I mean, part of it, I almost feel like we're missing something from the day itself as well. There almost seems like, what am I forgetting about? We got the books. Oh yes, super good. So this year, so we always want to make sure that people who are here or hanging out for the day or doing stuff for the day get fed. So we've connected with a food truck. But this year we didn't lock in not just any food truck. We got a food truck that was near and dear to the date. And not just the Free Comic Book Day date, but I think more importantly, the May 6th date, which is the day, the premiere of Captain America 3. Or as I like to call it, Avengers 2.5.
Yes.
What do the Avengers love to eat after a day of crime fighting?
Shawarma.
Shawarma. We have Dito's food truck, which has the best and tastiest shawarma in the city, bar none. So Thursday night, you decide to get your super nerd on. Maybe you go to the midnight matinee, or Friday, you cut out of work and you go to an afternoon show. You see Cap 3, you're all jazzed up. You come Saturday for your comics and your costumes and your photographs and your charity and all this stuff. You're having a great time. Oh, I'm starving. Shawarma. Boom, right there in your face. It's perfect. It could not have been packaged up any better, I think.
Yeah.
I try not to think too often though, because that's when I get headaches. Yes. But as you started to say, yes, we do kind of continue on. So the day itself runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep.
And then we shut down for about an hour and a half while the entertainment company comes and takes down the tent, because we got to put out a huge tent. We're getting a bigger tent this year, and I'll tell you why we need the bigger tent in a little bit as well, if we have time, because I'm just rambling on.
We can always make time.
Rambling Jay at Crazy Jay's Comic Emporium. But yeah, so we close at 5. The tent starts to come down, and then at 6:30 we open up the doors again, because at 7 o'clock the entertainment begins. We have a big party. Largely it's to thank all the volunteers. We have usually around 40 volunteers who help the Happy Harbor staff make the day work.
Wow.
So it's a big day. So we throw them a party. We get a bunch of bands. This year we've got 3 bands that are coming in, and we've got the wonderfully talented Liam Creswick, who I know you've had on your show previously. Super great guy. I'm glad I've known him for as long as I have, and I've worked with him, and he's worked with us at the store. So he will be kind of our MC through the evening to get us through these 3 fantastic bands. We have Backbeat, which is actually kind of like a community-based music initiative for youth. Bringing groups of kids together and putting them in bands and letting them just, make music and just have an awesome time. Bikini Atoll Beach Party, which is this super awesome, just swing and rock out beach surf music band.
Nice.
They are so good. They're so tight. They're amazing. And then we're going to close off the night with our own house band. Did you know that Happy Harbor has a house band? Yeah. So the group White Label Demo is a group of guys who actually all met each other through Happy Harbor. They're all follow customers, all became buddies, and all got together, and they do their band. They've been rocking out for a few years now, and they play every show that we ever do here. So whether it's Free Comic Book Day, Halloween, New Year's, every time we have a show, that's it. And they'll be closing out the night, and Liam Creswick will be keeping the entertainment in between band changes going, and it's awesome. I mean, it's the staff is running on fumes by the end of that night, but the music and the performers are so good that it just
carries you through.
Just carries us right through.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole weekend, we got, the weekend before we got Calgary Expo.
Yeah.
We got Captain America coming up.
Yeah.
And then we got Free Comic Book Day.
I know.
It is one of those times right now. It's just so much.
It's magical. The sky is going to rain unicorns.
Yeah.
It's just.
And then on Wednesday we have lightsaber training that's happening.
Yes. Yes, I know I have to adjust my staffing schedule because one of my staff members is taking lightsaber training. So we had to make a little shift there to accommodate. That's the kind of business we are. We will actually accommodate our employees who wish to take lightsaber training.
That's It is important.
I'm sure it's important somewhere because you never know when you're going to need to slit open a wampa and get some warmth. Right?
That's right.
So, yes.
And you need to be able to wield that
you
thing
just have to do
without
it
cutting your own hand.
That's right. Yes, it's the worst.
It's happened so many times.
So many times. Every time I watch the movie, he loses a hand. You think he'd learn at some point.
Everybody loses hands. That's the way it works.
The worst running joke ever.
So
yeah.
I'm always a sucker for a good origin story. Do you know, or can you tell our listeners and viewers, what do you know about how Comic Book Day got started? Where did it start? Who thought it would be a great idea to get this going? What do you know about that?
So actually, it was started by a retailer down in the States named Joe Field. And Joe is a very, very strong advocate for comic retailers and has been for decades. He has one of the longest standing stores down in the southern states. And he's fought very tirelessly to get the respect and recognition for comic book stores, which kind of, there's been so many shifts and transitions through the industry, like moving out of the newsstands and into the direct marketplace. You've got specialty shops, and then the oversaturation of the market with gimmicks and stuff in the mid-90s to its collapse, and all sorts of things that happened. But Joe decided that the industry needed a day to celebrate so that we would be recognized around the world. And I know this year, like I said, it's its 15th year. And according to Diamond Distribution, who's the largest distributor of comic books in the world, and the ones who help facilitate this thing between publishers and retailers, they said they're giving away, I believe it's in the neighborhood of 6.5 million comics.
Wow.
They're distributing to retailers worldwide that will be given away for free.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive. Yeah, it is. And it's fantastic because that means that just that many more people that will get their hands on a comic book for nothing, a brand new book to get them excited, to get them just engaged, to put them into an environment where, they get to meet all these other fans and they get to see what comics can really be like and how much fun it is.
Well, one of the things that really impresses me is that a lot of their people who don't come to comic book stores are here on Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, yeah.
And they get to actually see what a comic book store actually is.
Yeah, we can. It changes their perceptions greatly from what they see in the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
thank God. But and it is good. And people who walk in have never been in a shop before. They come in here, and it's like, wow, this is what a comic book store is. And it's like, yeah, this is what it can be. Yeah. And this is everything that we can offer. And it's that kind of cliched phrase: no matter what you like, I will find something for you. There is something for everyone. Here. So it's great, and just having this day, and like every time I see Joe, if I meet him at a retailer's conference or at a convention or something, I thank him because this day is super important to us. We've done Free Comic Book Day since the first day that it was offered to be done. When we had a little tiny shop out in Jasper, Alberta, and we just blew up some balloons, we had some comics, and we just kind of did our little thing. And every year we just built on it more and more. What can we add? And what can we do differently? And even this year it was kind of hitting year 15. It's like, what can we do differently? And we thought, no, here we've got a couple of things we can do differently. So we're trying out some new stuff. We're actually doing a thing this year. It's a little bit different. Sure, there's going to be tables and tables of books, and we get lineups that start at about 8:30 in the morning. We don't open till 10. And we've had people in years past say,
come by.
It was freezing cold like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's days it's cold. There's people still here waiting, and there's people who come by and say, "Oh, I don't want to wait in line. I want to come back later," but they come back later. And a lot of there's still a little bit of a line, but then they say, "Oh, a lot of books are gone," because it's always hard to tell what people are going to want to take. And so this year we decided that every hour on the hour we're going to add a book that's not part of the 50 Free Comic Book Day books. We're going to put out a mystery book. And we're not just going to put out some we're going to put out something that's cool. We're going to put out something that's really awesome.
Nice.
Something that you wouldn't expect to see on the table and that you're going to want and you're going to be excited for. So we're going to make sure every hour starting at 11 o'clock, so 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock on the hour. So we're going to put out a different book, nice, big, fat stack, right? For those people, you can't make it at 10, you can't make it at 11, you can't make it at 12. You get there at 1, And yeah, things are going to be picked over, but there's going to be something brand spanking new on the table, right? And so we want to try to accommodate those people who they can't be there right away, or they can't handle the lines, they can't handle the crowds. Everyone's kind of got their thing. So we're working really hard to try to make sure that it's as friendly and inviting and there's an opportunity there for everyone to get something really awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, it is awesome.
Thank you.
So in all the years that you guys have been doing, that Happy Harbor's been doing Free Comic Book Day, this is kind of a two-parter. Do you have a favorite memory of something that was just like, oh my God, I'm so glad we did this year. It was the most amazing thing ever. And part two, do you have something that was like, oh my God, that's the worst thing ever. Let's never do that again.
Best thing ever? That's pretty tough because every year, actually probably one of the best things ever, and it's been a recurring theme, or a recurring happening every year. There is a family, a father and his two kids, who come around every year, and they make a sizable donation to the Edmonton Food Bank.
Nice.
The first time it happened, it blew me away, because it was just like, it's like, he comes up and he's like, here's how much I want to donate to the food bank. And I'm like, whoa, like you can donate $20 and just get a piece of art. And he's like, no, here, do it. That's a good cause. We believe. And then every year they come back. Nice. And every year it's a big donation. And it's kind of their one big contribution to the year. And every year I'm just floored, absolutely floored. And it, again, kind of, it gives us enough confidence to know that what we're doing is a good thing and that people respond to it, and it's fantastic. So that's awesome. And every time you see little kids in costume too, that's always super awesome. That just kind of like,
it just makes your day. Right?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. It's kind of like, oh, it's like
when I was so many of them that run around.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and we get more and more every year, and that's super great. And they're all like waving, their capes are flapping, and they're waving their hands. They're having a great time, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Worst thing? That'd be really tough to say. Last year we hired a bouncy castle, and that went horribly, horribly wrong because there was a lack of information, and there was just a lack of coordination, and I didn't realize how much. I rented a castle and told him that everything would kind of be done, and then the guy showed up, he blew up the castle, and he said, "See ya," and left. And we're just like, well, how are we supposed to maintain this? What are we supposed to do? I don't know. And they're like, oh, the company should have told you that. I'm just the guy who just drops it off, whatever. And that was the end of it. And then, of course, it got really windy. The castle collapsed. It started sliding around the parking lot. It eventually just fell down. And it was like, and that was pretty embarrassing, because
I think that was one of the Neo's favorite things. In the interview that we were doing here, he's like, and there's a bouncy castle, and he was super excited for that thing. I don't know.
Yeah, he was super jazzed about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it stayed up long enough for him to actually enjoy it. Probably not, because it wasn't up for that long. But
he gets distracted pretty easy though. You throw a bunch of comics in front of him. He's.
Should I answer questions? There's questions that are.
Yeah, there is questions. So there's lots actually.
Should we go through all the questions, or should we just do the ones that are?
Let's do this one here.
What's this one here?
So
I only have one good eye. I can't read that from.
Yeah. So he's like,
Who's the question from?
It's from Marcus. Mm-hmm. And he's asking, how do you think that e-comics are going to affect stores like Happy Harbor? Also, Happy Harbor rocks.
Oh, thank you very much. How will e-comics or digital comics affect Happy Harbor or other comic book stores? Well, they're going to affect every store differently, because it depends on how you embrace it. Happy Harbor embraced it wholly. We actually have a digital portal on our website that you can order your digital comics through. And people would say, well, why do you do that? It's like, well, because the publishers kindly give us a cut. So if you have a digital account through Comixology, instead of going direct to Comixology's website, you can come to Happy Harbor's website, get your books through there. Comixology gets money, Happy Harbor gets a little money, the publishers get money, the creators get money. Everyone gets helped out, which is really super cool. And we found that digital comics have actually brought more people into the stores. And sales trends have shown that as the digital market is increased, the physical print market is also increased and actually is increasing faster. The digital market share is only sitting at about 15% of the total industry right now, which is still pretty small. But as it continued to grow, the print market also grew. And that, I mean, digital is a part of that. It's also the expanse into major book chains and high profile movies and TV shows. But overall, there was this nice correlation that people would go to the digital sites and they could sample something for $1 or $2 or whatever, read something they really like, but then they would come and find the book.
Yeah.
They would hit the stores and
there's something to be said for a copy you can hold in your hand.
And a lot of people will say that's like kind of one of the many points that people would bring out. I think a lot of it is because as we move into this age of community building within this, what used to be a very isolated hobby, the print book is what you share. Here, read this book.
Yeah.
Right? Not here, borrow my iPad.
Here's my phone.
Yeah, here's my phone and my iPad. Right? So you can actually go. And it's nice to have a small collection of books in your home because when you have guests and people over, that is a reflection of who you are. And it, again, allows you to engage with people, not something you can easily do with a tablet or a phone.
Yeah.
So I think, it's great to actually have books to hold and to read. But it actually really kind of transcends that a little bit more. And it's good. And of course, once people kind of get into it, they get into the habit of hitting their comic shop weekly. Mm-hmm. Every Wednesday, new stuff's out. Good. I'm going to go. I'm going to run into some other customers I met. I'm going to talk to the staff, whatever.
Yep. I mean, Marvel always has the comic, the digital edition inside their comics anyway.
Some of their books. They do some and not others, but yeah.
So I don't usually use that code for some reason.
If you peel off the little label, it's no longer mint.
I know.
And there you go.
It just wrecks the value.
And then that copy of Ghost Rider 13 is just no good no more.
Yep.
Yo, Chelsea got the joke. Perfect. One person laughed.
That's all that matters.
Well, yeah, as long as one person laughed.
So what about 45-year-old kids in costumes?
That's fine. I have several costumes, and I am actually 45 years old. So
you have the Green Arrow one. I
have a classic 70s Green Arrow costume. Yep. I have a Captain Marvel.
And the goatee works so good with
it. I have when I grow it out. Yeah, I have a Deathstroke the Terminator costume. 2 years ago, I got a Taskmaster costume done,
nice.
Which is very complicated and involved, and I very seldom wear it. And then probably the one that I wear the most often is what I call my Low Red Thor costume, which is really just a pair of tights, a vest with some felt circles attached onto it, and then some kind of ridiculous curtain that's been safety pinned onto the shoulders. And then I walk around with just an actual hammer. Not like Majorn. I grab one of my hammers and just a hammer and just walk around with that.
Because that would just complete that costume.
It makes it work, right? It's just like
it just brings it all together.
Yeah, I'm Sunday morning hungover Thor. This is kind of what it boils down to.
All right. Just before we end off here,
not the Marvel version of Captain Marvel. It's the Captain Marvel that everyone would wrongly say is Shazam. But they call him Shazam now because everyone kept getting confused with Captain Marvel. Whatever. But yes.
So just before we end off here.
Are we ending? Is that it? It is. It's an hour.
I know. It's an hour. At the Expo, Calgary Expo, you do CLDF, right?
CLDF, the Comic Legends Legal Defense Fund. I am on the board of directors for that. And through the fund, we raise money and awareness to fight censorship. Primarily in Canada, there is the sister organization in the United States, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. They are way busier than we are because in the United States, people will challenge books all the time. They will get people arrested. And I could do Carol Danvers. For starters, I have the hair, and secondly, great legs. We're getting
by the way,
comments on him.
If you know Jay at all, he's always in shorts. Yeah. Except for when you're in a costume.
Well, when I'm in a costume, there's not too many costumes that have shorts. Although if I was to get a bunch of people together, I could do. There's Harley Quinn's Gang of Harleys, and there's the one dude who's in the group actually wears shorts.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe I have an option there where I can get myself some hot pants and a muscle tee and just embarrass the living crap out of myself.
Might as well.
We come that far. So we do the thing for the Comic Legal Defense Fund at the Calgary Expo this weekend. We will have comic legend Ty Templeton there, and Ty will be doing sketches for people who make donations to the Legal Defense Fund. I think it'll be a minimum $20 donation. He will sketch you as a Simpsons character. If you make a sizable donation, he may actually do a one-of-a-kind custom piece, a bit more fleshed out. But yeah, we're going for volume, and those Simpson ones can go pretty cool. We did it at the Edmonton Expo with the Simpson artist James Lloyd. It went super well. We had lineups. We were totally blown away.
Nice.
And people loved it. But, you get yourself designed as a Simpsons character. Yeah, it's pretty tough to beat something that cool.
All right. Before we're done, where can people find you?
Right here. I'm sitting right here in my store. That's where I am.
Where is this store?
Oh, it's Happy Harbor Comics, 10729 104 Avenue. For those of you who are geographically challenged, it's across the street from MacEwan University where the giant clock is. That's right at least twice a day. We're not sure about the rest of the time. But yeah, it's right downtown, lots of buses, 2 blocks from the LRT drop-offs. And we got parking in the front and the back. Yeah, and it's a big...
And on Free Comic Book Day, where do people park?
On Free Comic Book Day, we rent the parking lot just to the west of us, but there'll be lots of costume people out with big signs directing everyone in. You park for free, compliments of us, and just come and join the festivities.
Awesome. And you guys have a website?
Where can people find you on the web if they want to learn more about the stuff?
Yeah, it's for sure. You can find us at happyharborcomics.com. Spell Harbor either way, you'll still get redirected to the proper place.
Nice.
You can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and a Facebook group, Happy Harbor Comics. You can on the Twitter, we're HH Comics. If you follow us on Twitter, that's probably most often where you'll find a lot of our contest giveaways when we give away movie passes and other little odds and ends. We have an Instagram account that we can't access right now, but we're getting back to it. And we do Tumblr. We have lots of cool articles and great essays up on Tumblr. And again, something we'll be working back into once we get a little more time outside of the craziness that we've been putting up with in the last month and a half or so.
That sounds amazing. All right.
It has been. That's what I tell myself. It helps me get out of bed in the morning. This is amazing. I'm so tired. So tired.
I can't take it.
It's all for you people, all of you, or the 6 of you that are still watching.
All right. Before we're done, again, we got a few events that I'd like to plug. International Tabletop Days at Mission Fun and Games. That's on Saturday, April 30th. And that's just a day to go play some board games.
Well, they'll have lots of it's a big thing.
Yeah.
So they get packages. They'll have exclusive freebies, and they do a lot of game testing and stuff. And yeah, it's a good event.
Nice. And Game Discovery Exhibition.
That sounds cool.
Yes, GDX Edmonton. If you go to gdxedmonton.com, you will find information there. It's all about game developers.
Is that time right? Because it says there's one Saturday you can go at 9 a.m. and then Sunday at 4 a.m.
Probably not 4 a.m. I will have to. I'm sure it's correct on our website.
Go source out the correct time.
Yeah, go find out what the right time
Don't show
is.
up at 4 a.m. They won't be happy.
Probably not. And Free Comic Book Day on
Yay.
May 7th, right here at Happy Harbor Comics and local comic book stores and libraries.
Yeah, yes, that was another thing. Happy Harbor, we supported 27 different libraries across Alberta. So even if you're not in the city of Edmonton,
Yep.
if you're in towns like Innisfail, Okotoks, Camrose, Two Hills, Swan Lake, if you're in all sorts of places, I should actually put up a list. You know what? We're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to put up a list on our website of all the libraries that we help get comics for to help build up their day, so that if you're not in Edmonton, but you're somewhere around one of those communities, you can go to those communities and still celebrate Free Comic Book Day.
That's awesome. All right, so there you go.
Nice.
Go check that out tomorrow. He'll be up there. And then Calgary Comic Expo is happening
This weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Mental Case and I'm in Love with a Dead Girl is happening at the Metro Cinema on April 28th.
Is that 2 movies?
Yeah,
Mental
it's
Case and I'm in Love with the Dead Girl.
one's a movie and one's a web series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and this is all done produced here in Edmonton, local sourced. It's pretty awesome. We had
Brendan on the Nerdcast last week.
Oh, right.
Yep. And next week we'll be talking about the Calgary Expo because that's what we've been doing and might as well be talking about it.
Are
right?
you going to Calgary?
We will be.
Oh, both of you? You're going to Chelsea?
No, Chelsea.
No, Chelsea's going to sit in front of a
Vancouver.
webcam and just watch Dan at the Calgary Expo and just whimper silently to herself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chelsea.
I know.
This is the one. This is where we get to get rid of all the kids. And this is my Trina and my our vacation, but where I do a lot of work. I pump out a video during the weekend.
She does some
Or-
work too.
She does.
She does a lot of work.
She does
Do not
not-
take
And
all
she's
the
got a super sweet
No.
cosplay this year.
She's cosplaying this year and leaving me with pretty much almost everything.
as she should. It's about time you started carrying your weight.
It's true.
Deadbeat. Jeez.
So yeah, that'd be I know. Terrible. So we're gonna be doing that, and that's pretty much it. We have a calendar you guys can go check out at northernnerdnetwork.com/upcoming events. And there's a ton of stuff on there. This is a lot of it supported by Edmonton Nerd List. Kelly
Thanks, Kelly.
works there. Sends us like 1,000 events a day.
That dude's on top of stuff. Man.
He is.
He is.
He
We
is
get
on top of things.
we get so many Facebook messages from Kelly throughout our day. Our calendar would be bare if it weren't for him. So thank you, Kelly.
Yes, he just keeps sending it, so we just keep putting it up there. So thank him, and it's awesome. So go check that out. You guys can also find us on northernnerdnetwork.com, youtube.com/northernnerdnetwork, facebook.com at facebook.com/northernnerd.
I don't think
And
you need to say that.
I probably and northern_nerd on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
Thank you so
thank you,
much to Jay for being with us.
Thank you guys.
This was awesome. I had so much fun.
You had fun. I just talked, man.
That's all.
And we love that. Guests who come on
I
and
don't have to do any work then that way.
That's true.
well, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Guests who come on who are clearly so passionate about what they do and passionate about the nerdy community that exists in Edmonton and do what they love for the community in Edmonton. You guys are our favorite guests because you can talk for days on end about what you love and why you're doing it, and that makes for
a lot of
a
people
great
who would not want to
Nerdcast.
do that.
No,
So thank you.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks.
All right. That's it. That's all. I want to thank everybody out there for watching and or listening to this Nerdcast, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.